As a quick reminder, in the previous episodes of this restoration project, you had the opportunity to witness my introduction and explanation of this remarkable painting. Due to the paint layer's severe deterioration, I encountered several critic areas requiring immediate consolidation. Additionally, in certain regions, the paint layer demanded urgent reattachment to the canvas substrate. For that, I used several different techniques, glues that you watch me preparing, heat, pressure, and injection. So, to catch up on these episodes, you can find the links provided in the video's description notes below. Do you sometimes feel lonely? I do. Throughout this video, I'll be delving into more personal aspects of my life, making it a somewhat more intimate and revealing video. Those woods here were giving a support to the painting because the frame is a little bit bigger than the painting. I probably will have to use them again after the restoration is done on the painting. So I'm gonna keep them and I'm gonna put a tape on them so I know which part is the bottom part, and there's another one there also. And again, because the painting is slightly smaller than the frame, it was applied an extra wood around all the painting. So this wood will have to come out so I can take out the painting out of the stretching frame. Here it is the part of the top. As a restorer, my days are often spent immersed in the domain of solitude, and I must confess there's an undeniable fascination to it. This solitary voyage serves as the magical drop that fuels my strong concentration, like a potent potion brewed from the essence of focus. Loneliness is the silent companion of my craft. I'm shielded from the noise of external influences that could otherwise sway my attention. In this modern age, there exists a misguided notion that solitude is a void to be filled with the incessant clamor of social media and external distractions. However, we must remain vigilant, for this illusion has the potential to hound our spirits and corrode the very essence of our souls. Your essence, both ethereal and corporeal, is a precious sanctuary, deserving of tender care and constant protection. In the stillness of solitude, you find the serenity to nurture your spirit and safeguard your being. And now comes these nails, and to take them out, it's not so easy. This is probably the part that I less like in the process of restoration. Actually, I think I love all the other ones, but this one is really a hard work for me. make sure there is no nail left, and I can lift the stretching frame. And I give a clean.
Thank you, Eduardo, for being here. And tell something about the restoration project you have been working on.
Thank you, me, for being curious about how this restoration process all went on this painting. So thank you for having me.
Could you tell us how this painting arrived to you?
This painting did arrive to me through a client from Belgium that did buy this painting in an auction right in Brussels. So this is it's the first time that I'm dealing with this client. So this is the first project that I work and I have opportunity to work for him. So basically the information that I have is through him, and he did buy this painting in an auction.
Okay, interesting. Now
Yes,
things
yes.
come to you. Could you provide an overview of the painting you recently restored? What is his historical background?
This painting, the subject of this painting, it's a religious subject. It's the presentation of Jesus in the temple. And this is an Italian painting that probably was painted, or for sure that was painted in the 17th century. So it's a quite old painting. I can see that there are several Italian techniques, also several influences that probably the artists that did paint this painting got on its time, but also the way it is painted with a very dramatic difference of light in the first models that are in the painting in the first plan through the models that are on the more behind plan. There's a very different intention on the light, and this can be related with the influences that the artist got probably on the painter Caravaggio.
I was thinking of that.
Also,
it was in my mind.
Yes, also an Italian painting. But also there is a very interesting connotation, because there is a lot of light concentrated in those models on Jesus, on Mary and Anna, and like this connotation, I would say, that is very related with religion and with prophecies, that Jesus is like the light of the world. So it's quite interesting the way that the painting is painted, because a lot of light on the models are concentrated on that area, like the light was coming from the child, Jesus. So it's a quite interesting connotation that in that time probably was a way to send the message in a religious way that would be like Jesus is the light of the world.
Interesting story from one painting.
Yes, it's an interpretation that we can make through that painting.
But the painting...
I plan to use the original stretching frame in the future to stretch the painting again. But because there are signs of presence of wood parasites that can also damage not only the stretching frame but also the painting itself, I'm going to apply a treatment to this wood. Well, I must say that I am very pro animals and even insects. But unfortunately, in this case, these insects only cause damage, so I have to guarantee that in the future, the whole painting is protected. This is a liquid product that can be applied in wood objects that are infested with unwanted creatures. This works totally well for inside and outside objects that need to be protected. For this stretching frame, I will apply the product with a brush, and after the product is absorbed, I will wrap it in plastic film. In this specific situation, I will leave it like that until I need to reuse it again. The condition of the original canvas and the fact that it's crucial to guarantee the adhesion of all paint again to the canvas, I will apply a new linen. To apply this linen, I will have to build a special working frame with bigger dimensions. For that, I will need 4 normal pine wood pieces that I will assemble together, and then I will staple the new linen to this working frame. After the linen is applied, I will brush some rabbit skin glue to the canvas. Glue that actually you watched me preparing in one of the previous videos of this project. This will force the canvas to stretch more, making it ready for the next procedures. Now, let me share with you something about me. Although drawing and painting were since very young a constant presence in my life, one of my first official educations was the military school. I wanted to pursue a military career, so I went to the military service and I was trained to give military instruction to new platoons. After I served in the army and OTAN as a military communications specialist. The fact of taking a military education provided me with a very strong sense of mission, which means that in a military strategy, several things must be done until the objective is achieved. And achieving this final objective is the most important priority. Several years ago, while I was serving in OTAN, I had a strong health problem that forced me to leave and abandon the military career. It is when I decided to learn, study, and develop art on a very deeper level. In addition to being a restorer, I am also a visual artist, but this is a subject I will be sharing with you more in the future. This sense of mission that military education made on me is so strong that was not so positive for me on a personal level. I assumed the creation of this channel as a mission too. I started to publish videos on this channel, but because I was so obsessed with making them, editing them, publishing, and following up on them, on top of several others activities and compromises I must answer, taking all of that at the same time was a mission that no matter what I had to achieve. And after a while, I ended up falling. And I was forced to stop. Too much stress, too much pressure I put on myself, and no joy. I just was not able to continue. I needed some time to recover, and this is why I had this break until now in silence. So now I'm trying to balance in a better way my activities. And now during my restoration activities, for example, I take breaks and I go for a walk to be far from my work. And when I come back, I work better, even with more sharp attention to certain details, for example. If any of you is facing somehow similar situation, listen to your spirit and body and respect yourself as a person as a whole, because your body and your health are your temple. What I'm going to add now to the canvas is some tension, and for that I need to brush this mix of rabbit skin glue. I did prepare a dilution of rabbit skin glue in a light concentration, because here what I want is just to get the canvas wet, but also with a little bit of glue, so it will give some impermeabilization to the canvas, but gradually it will add tension. I'm using here the Union Jack pattern because in this way the tension is being shared in a uniform way. As you can see, the canvas is already getting more stretched and very tight. So it's interesting because if I was preparing a canvas to paint painting, I would use a stronger concentration of rabbit skin glue, because on that case the intention is to make a isolation of the canvas so it can receive the future gesso, and then I can apply the paint, oil paint or acrylic paint or any other kind of paint if I want. But on that situation, on that case, my intention is to add impermeabilization in a stronger way. Here not. Here, because I will need to, you will see in the future that in the future procedures that I will need the canvas to let pass the wax mixture that I'm going to apply to apply the new canvas on the painting. So here what I really want is just to have tension, and you now see that finally the canvas is totally stretched, and I'm going to let it dry. And now, because this needs to dry very well before I can apply the wax and do the final relining, it is time that I can make a small break and go for a walk. And I'm going to take you with me. Let's go. Nearby I have a beautiful big park where I can catch some sun and breathe a fresh atmosphere. I don't mind at all that in my break I just walk around for some time. Antwerp is such a special city, and I always have something to appreciate. This time when I was walking in more traditional streets, I found out a very interesting place. I was so curious about it, and I found out that this place is called the Beguinage. Beguines were devoted women who lived in a community without taking religious vows. As a consequence of this particular religious life, they were neither laywomen nor nuns, devout until the 20th century. The first beguinage in Antwerp was from 1240 to 1542 and was located in the south of the city. Initially, the houses were built around the square, but as a result of growing number of beguines, an alley was added. The original character and tranquility of the beguinage have been preserved. And the original church was destroyed in 1799, but it was replaced by the current St. Catherine's Church in 1827. In this small avenue, some time ago I discovered this Greek cafe.
I recently found this Greek cafe where I can have a very nice cappuccino and relax a little bit, tasting a wonderful cake they have by the name Portocalo Pita, so I'm going to enjoy it right now. It's okay for you if I take images and probably I will publish them.
Yeah, of course, no worries.
It's okay?
No worries. Everybody do and we allow everyone. No
Okay,
worries.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I will take cappuccino
Yes.
and the Portocalo Pita.
Portocalo Pita, yes. No
Okay? Thank you. Thank you.
Here it comes.
Thank you.
Please.
Thanks a lot.
Enjoy.
Ooh, and here it is, my wonderful cake, which is a very specific Greek speciality called by the name Portocalo Pita, and beautiful cappuccino.
Isto tamo. Mi sam bio u tom restoranu. U Rijeci jednom i onda sam ja u restoranu. Smo pratili kako velicovako pravi da kući, imali smo kamen. Pravi da šutku. Stignije, lepše.
Hallo meneer, mag ik een beetje film? Oké, dank u wel.
Zit of zit?
Daar.
Oh, zit.
It's okay. Oh, he doesn't care about me. Hey, mister, you don't care about me. So cute. Adorable. Thank you. Thank you, Al.
So I'm going to apply the facing now, and for the facing I'm going to use Japanese paper, and I'm going to use this glue that I made with some rice starch. Once the facing is complete, I proceed with the new linen application. To ensure the stability of the painting on the new canvas, I apply a technique involving several stripes of craft paper, which I cut to precise measurements. These stripes are then coated with rice starch glue and carefully applied to the edges of the painting in the new canvas. I apply these stripes to all 4 sides of the painting. Once they have dried, this process provides completely stabilization to the painting, securely holding it in place. This allows me to manipulate the artwork safely, facilitating the next step, the application of the wax resin mixture. Some time ago in one of my early videos, you observed me preparing a wax resin composite in a substantial quantity. In that video, I used a portion of it to reline the canvas featured in that same video. I intentionally prepared a generous quantity because this type of adhesive is a recurrent necessity in my work. In fact, it serves a dual purpose. Not only can I employ it to affix a new canvas when needed, but I can also utilize it as an adhesive for polychrome projects, such as adhering paint or a piece of wood within an exterior decorative frame. I store this wax resin composite in a tin box in small compact blocks that I can melt as required. When melted at a very low temperature, it becomes ready for application. In this scenario, the front of the artwork remains protected by the facing I applied earlier, and the painting is secured held in place with the help of the craft paper stripes while it is turned face down. I then apply the wax resin composite to the back of the new canvas, and it typically solidifies almost instantly. Once I'm confident that I have evenly applied the adhesive across the entire area corresponding to the back of the painting, I use a moderately heated iron, starting from the center and moving towards the periphery of the artwork. I gently melt the composite. There's no need to exert excessive pressure because the iron itself carries sufficient weight to provide the required pressure. This is a multi-step process as the wax gradually permeates the top layer of the new canvas, penetrates the original old canvas of the painting, and reaches the loose paint layer. This method is highly effective in ensuring a strong bond between the paint layer and the original substrate. After completing this process and removing both the craft paper stripes and the facing material, the previously fragile and at-risk paint layer is now firmly secured in place. This makes it possible to proceed with subsequent steps and actions confidently. But I'll be sharing the rest of this process with you in my next video, including the cleaning procedure of the painting.